Hello and welcome back. Today I will show you the latest version of my Python account mod tool. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like the video. It would really help me reach the 1000 subscriber goal. But please remember, the developers of the game don't want you to use the API. I just did it to see what they changed and if it still works. Your account probably gets flagged if you use it. So use it only on test accounts or accounts you don't care if they get flagged. Getting flagged means you can't participate in daily runs or your name won't be shown on the leaderboard anymore. And you can't play multiplayer, so if you want to play with your friends in the account, don't use the tool on this account. If you add my organization, you can see I have two repositories. One is the Python repository and one is the JavaScript repository. For this tutorial, we will go in the Python. And you can just download the code with Git is what I recommend, because if I change anything in the code, you can just use GitHub to update the code. If you have installed the code, you need to also install Python 3.11 or later to run the code. If you have done this, you have to install the requirements. It's not much, it's just 2 modules. You can do this with pip install -r and then requirements, and you can just type the first letters and hit tab to autocomplete, and it should show requirements.txt. And if you do this, it will install all the stuff for you. For me, it obviously just say that it's already installed, so I'm good to go. After this is done, you just run the Python code. I have Visual Studio Code, so I can just run the Python file with this. If you don't have it, it doesn't matter. You can also run it with Python and run.py, and it should also work. Here you can see my account manager. With 0, you can close the tool, and then let's reopen it. If you hit 1, it will anonymize your account names. I just implemented it so I can make the videos and don't leak my account names. With 2, you can add any account. Let's do this. You don't have to try this, not a valid account, and you will see it will be added at the end. We can go into it. We can hit 1 and manage the account. We can edit the credentials. Let's add it to this. Same for the password. And you can see it directly updates to the correct name. Let's go back with 0. New bug I found. Interesting. I would have to check, but I have too much to do for such little bugs, and yeah, just double cancel out if this ever happens. As long as it doesn't break, it's fine for me. It's not optimal, and I would fix it if I had time. So let's select the account again, manage account, and now let's just delete it. Yes, I want to delete it. Account successfully deleted, and it's not on the list anymore. So perfect. And for this, it was this account. So let's go in, just hit 2 for the mod. And you will see everything you can do here. So close is pretty obvious. Download all account data to JSON. I will show this to you later, but I have to hide this over here to don't leak my account names. So let's start with downloading all account data to JSON. Let me quickly make a cut and show you what the result will look like. So let's start with modding the account data manually. First, you have to, you can ignore those two, they are just used internally. This determines the player gender. To change it, you can use this player gender enum in my project or view it in the source code, it's from there. So a 2 would be female, a 1 would be male, and a 0 would be unset. So I don't know what happens if you set it to 0. I never tried it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Probably it will break the game in some way. I'm not sure how, but yeah. I already edited from 1 to 2, so it should hopefully change the gender. The dex data will have all the information about your Pokemon, so the scene and caught attribute you can, for example, set to 255 to unlock all shiny T3s. I have them defined here. So Hardy would be 0, but it's not that easy that you can put in like 0. It would be 2 to the power of, it would be 2 to the power of 0. So for Hardy it's 1. For Lonely it would be 2 to the power of 1. So it's a 2. For Brave, 2 for power of 2 is 4, and so on. So to write it out, it would be this or this. And then you add all of the results together to unlock what you want. So for example, if you want to unlock Hardy, you would have equals 1. This one, if you don't want this, it would be equals 0. And Brave would be 4. And if you just want to unlock those two, you would add 4 plus 1 is 5. So if you set the value to 5, it should unlock those two. It's a bit more complicated, but you don't have to do it manually. My tool will unlock all of them for you. Let's go back. The nature attribute, we can just let it at this for now. The scene count, I wouldn't edit them manually, but you should be able to. So let's say we have 10 and 5 and 2. So you can see it. Let's max them. The minimum is 10, the maximum is 31. So we are done with this, and you could do it for all you want. And in the starter data, you can change the friendship level. I don't know what the maximum is. I would have to find out. The ability attribute, I'm also not sure. I would also have to see in the source code what it's meant for, but I have bigger problems to solve, so I don't care currently. Maybe you can find out and let me know in the comments. You can change the candy count, let's say 1000. Egg moves, I'm also not sure. Value reduction, it's between 0 and 2. So 2 is the maximum. Passive attribute would be a 3 for unlocked and enabled. So we can just set this. The only thing to remember with passive attribute is if the Pokemon doesn't have a passive, it should be all Pokemons with a baby form. Then if you set the value to 3 and select the starter and press start game, the game will crash because the Pokemon doesn't have a passive. So if you use my unlock all tool, it will set the correct ones to 0 and all of that to 3. Yeah, classic win count is probably self-explaining. So maybe set it to 1. So we are done with the starter data. The starter move data, I'm also not sure. And the starter egg move data, same. I would have to check what these are meant for. So for the game stats, we could, let's edit the playtime. So before it was something like 5 minutes. And highest money, yeah, it was from a role hack test. It also set the money. Yeah, you can edit everything you want here. But remember, if you edit some things, for example, total caught and total hatched and something, if it doesn't line up, it can lead to problems that the game data doesn't get saved. So I don't know what the reasons are why it sometimes doesn't save. So for unlocks, it's a bit hard to understand what each is. So I copied the, unlockables. So the endless mode would be 0, so the first one. Mini black hole would be 1 and spliced endless mode would be 2. With this knowledge, you can just enable anything you want. So for example, let's set this to true. And then you would have unlocked the endless mode. So achievement unlocked, there, like I said, I already had all of them. I can manually remove them. It should work. Voucher unlocks, I can... this is a classic victory one. So I could remove this one too. Voucher counts, then I could reset it also to 0. Egg pity. If you set it everything to 10, you will get a new Pokemon with the next egg hatch. It's the pity system, it's every 10th egg. Unlock pity, I'm not fully sure what it's meant for. I just found out about the egg pity like half an hour ago, so we will see. Yeah, and that's everything. It's just the game version and the timestamp. And we just save, file save. And we can close it. So the slot data, how you could edit it, you could change the playtime, you can change the game mode from 0 to 4. It should be, it's like the same like with this, but classic would be 0, endless would be 1, mini black hole would be 2, and spliced endless would be 3. Let's continue with the party. So there you can edit everything you want. This doesn't do anything. I already tested it. You can change the XP, friendship, fusion luck, gender, HP. This will probably be overwritten by the game, so it doesn't matter if you change it. ID is probably some internal stuff. IVs, there you could just edit everything to 31 if you want to max it. And there you can also edit your level. So let's say level 99,000. You can set the luck of the Pokemon. So could do this. You can change the move ID. I also have all moves. Here are all the moves. You can find it in my project in enum base underscore base and moves. It's a bit hidden because it's generated by my tool, so that's why you have this. I didn't want to translate all of this manually, so I wrote a Python script which does it for me. Like you can see, if you hover it will show the link for it if you have Visual Studio Code. So this is the name. And if you want to change, let's say anything, asset. So can also reset how many we have used. This is the count how often you can use the move. So I think the maximum is 2, but I'm not sure. If it's wrong, you can write it in the comments. Met biome, so we started with it. Met level 5. It's also doesn't. You can also change the nature. This I wouldn't change. You can change everything you want, but I'm speaking about breaking the game, because if you change certain stuff, it could lead to the game just getting stuck and you have a broken save. I mean, you can just edit it back. You can also enable the PokéRogue for it and set it to shiny. The species, probably we can change it. I never tested it. If we change it to 3, it should in theory be Venusaur. So let's change it to a 6 for Charizard. The stats, you don't have to change them. They get calculated based on the level and the Pokemon, so it doesn't... If you change them, they just get overridden, so you don't have to change them. The summon data, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a randomize, but I never noticed it. And you can also change the variant here. I won't do it because I'm not sure if Charizard has any variants and I don't want to break the game, but you could set it to other variants too. And these are just the other Pokemons of your team. I will just don't edit them for now. So you have the enemy party. You can, for example, also set the level really high. What I wouldn't do, for example, you could set it to level 1. You could change the moves of the enemy. Maybe you could even remove. I didn't test what happens if you just delete the moveset. Would be funny to test, but I don't know. And like I said, I don't want to fully break the game save. I just want to show you can edit it without breaking it. So we could for sure set it to shiny. You can probably change also the type of Pokemon. This would be the Dex ID of the Pokemon. Same for this. So modifiers would be a list of items. Currently it's empty. But if you have already any items, you can edit the count. You can also, if you have another game save, you can copy over your items from one game save to another. The only thing you need to remember, many items have a maximum stack count. It doesn't matter, you can just set it every item to, for example, 99. And this way you always know you have the maximum amount, but you won't have actually 99 of all items if you do it, but it won't give you the maximum stack count. To show it, I just copied over the items from another hacked game save where I have already added all the items I wanted. So the only thing you need to do if you do this, you have the Pokemon ID over here. So you need to change this with Visual Studio Code. You can do Command H to find all instances of this. You can also use this to ensure it must perfectly match. And then we just go up to the Pokemon we want to attach all the items. It's this, the ID, and we copy it, paste it in, and hit Command, Alt, and Enter to replace all occurrences. And now all the items should be attached to the Charizard. And the same for the enemy modifiers. You could also give them items if you want to. You can change the type of the biome. You can change the Pokeball count, let's say to 1. Or let's say the maximum is 99. So we will give us just unlimited Pokeballs. You can change the money. I will set it to 999. Score, you can also directly add it here. This one are values you can ignore. Let's also save this here in Enum, in my project, Enum folder achievements. You can find all the achievement names, and here are all the attribute values for the scene and caught attribute. But for this one, these are actually already the correct values. So you have just to add them together, which you want. Let's run this. So it was 8, number 2, logged in. So now it's upload all account data to JSON. So hit 2, hit enter. It was a small bug in the code. I changed it. It was the old output for the download, but it was the correct function. I checked, it was an error in the code. So it should be updated now. If we refresh, we probably should see that all the achievements are gone. For the stats, you can see the playtime is obviously not 5 minutes anymore, but 5 minutes and 4,000 hours. Anything else? Nope. So this looks good. Also, I shouldn't have any vouchers. Egg list should still be empty. Egg gacha should have 0 everywhere. New game. But you can see 1000 candies, 5 catch, 2 hatched. Shiny T3. And you see I also have all the 3 variants. I think they maybe have changed how it works, because the thing before 255 was just Shiny T3 but no variants. And you had to set it higher, but maybe they changed it. When we go to load game, you can see I have all the items, and the Charizard has all the stuff. It's a shiny. It's level 9999, so the HP gets updated automatically. So it also has acid, what I set it. Yeah. Works perfectly fine. So the other things are the same, just so but split up. So if you just want to download the trainer data, you can use the 3 If you just want to upload this trainer data, you can use the 4. 5 is download all slot data, all slots 1 to 5. And 6 would be uploading all the slots. Let's start with the next command, the generate X. You just hit 7. And it already tells you that I don't have any X. Add or replace, in this matter it doesn't, it's the same. Yeah, in this case it doesn't matter, you can just replace it. How many X you want to have, let's say 75. What tier should the X have? Let's get it legendary. Or let's set it mana fee. I want to have shiny mana fee. Gotchas. And how many waves should they hatch after 0? And it will generate all the X for you. And after it generated all the X, let's refresh. And now if we go into the egg list, you will see it will hatch soon, so the next battle, all of them will hatch. You can go back into the tool and generate. It says that I have the maximum amount of eggs, so I can only replace them. Let's generate 10. Legendary. And move gotcha after zeros, after 0 waves. Oh, session not valid. Oh yeah, because only 1 session is allowed. So let's restart it. Because of the new API stuff, it's harder to make stuff. If this happens, if session is invalid, just restart. So we will just generate X. 10. Replace. I want 10. It should be legendary. Move. And after 0 waves. 10 X got generated. Update the game. Yeah, that's why I prefer the JavaScript version, because you can work with the same session like the game and you don't get problems like this, that the game says session invalid. But now we should have our 10 legendary X. And they are all generated randomly, so they won't all give the same Pokemon, but they are completely random, like if you would have pulled them from the gacha machine. Later I can make an egg generator where you can just put in the Pokemon you want and it will generate you a valid egg which will hatch this Pokemon. But this will take some time because I need to reverse engineer the logic, but it should be possible. I just found the source code where it's calculated today, so I know it's possible. Hatch all eggs after the next wave is pretty obvious. You have to do 1 battle to hatch them. Unlock all startup in all forms and shinies and variants. Also self-explaining. I won't do it this alone because we will just use the 1-click max. It will include all of them. Then set game stats to high values. We are talking about these values and it will set it to really, really high values. So if you want to change it to a certain, do it probably manually for now. Later I will just make it in the overlay so you can have the list and you can just select the value. set vouchers to max save to use amount is these vouchers. Unlock all game modes is also pretty obvious. Unlock all achievements too. And unlock all vouchers. This should be all vouchers. And we will just do it with the one-click max account. So it's the 15, hit enter. And you see it will just go through and unlock everything for you. And then let's refresh the game. And if we, there you see we have all the options. And also all the Pokemon. Even like the unreleased ones. Yeah. Let's see it. Just so you can see, it also unlocks all the achievements to the current date. In my JS version, you can already select what date it should display. So there's the JS version already better. The stats, you can see they are pretty obvious hacked. So if you don't want them to be this high, set them manually. Later I will also include it more dynamically into the overlay like I said. Way better. None of these distracting black fields. And the egg gacha, you also can see it's pretty obviously not legit. I just wanted to show how you can skip waves. Let's go all the way down and the wave index. Let's make it 200. And, or let's say 199. Maybe it will break with 200. I'm absolutely not sure what will happen. And we also set the money a bit higher. If we now run it, let's see. Did I save it? Yes. And upload slots is 6. So now it should have exported the game save. So wave 199, this seems to have worked. Okay. It seems to not break. Let's see. Yeah, okay. This was interesting. Yeah, this is a bit annoying. But I just want to see what happens. Now the 10 legendary eggs will hatch. But it's good so you can see that it will hatch different Pokemons. It's not, it's based on the ID. If you just put in the same ID, it will always hatch the same Pokemon. Yay. Yeah, so we can just skip it for now. Dip, 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 dip. I've actually never played until stage 200. Oh, this will be a really hard game. Especially with the multi-shots. Where are they? Yeah. No, it was not this. I'm not sure where it is. But somewhere there should be the multi-land. Yeah. I'm not sure. Like I said, I never did this fight, so I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused. Why isn't he dying? Yeah. It's a bit annoying. It's good that she's the only one who remembers what I did. Don't tell the devs. Don't tell the devs. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you like it and see you soon.